Hello! Hello again, everyone. Zacatech is here with my Super Bowl 48 review for the Sunday night, February the 2nd, 2014. As you see by the title of this video, the subtitle, Defense won out the Super Bowl. We had the number one offense against the number one defense. In the end, the defense won out. I'll start by my thoughts on the game. Then I'll give you my thoughts on the halftime show, which I thought was hate to say this, more exciting than the game. And the commercials would be last. But commercials this year was kind of a so-so affair, kind of a mixed reaction, kind of some controversial commercials in some people's eyes. Coca-Cola. Anyway, the game itself, I thought it was more an exciting game. But we all should have known that because my dad and my family was watching the game, and my dad's like, this should be a clean game, a great day. I had high hopes. It's kind of ironic they played high hopes during the game because we all had high hopes for this game. And those hopes went down the drain in the first 12 seconds of the first quarter. Peyton Manning and the Broncos dropped the ball and ended up being a safety for the Seahawks. That kind of was a telltale sign how the game was going to go. All Seattle freaking Seahawks. Now, I like the Seahawks, and I wanted the Denver Broncos to win, because if you didn't see my video on this channel, I was in Denver. I was in Denver when they won the AFC Championship game against the Pats. I wasn't at the game, but I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Denver, and I shot a video reaction of the fans reacting to the Denver Broncos win the AFC Championship over the Pats and go to the Super Bowl. That's how I was hoping the Broncos were going to win, so I could say, hey, I was there when Broncos won the game to make it to the Super Bowl. And well, they played like they forgot they were in the Super Bowl tonight. Because Seattle, I liked Seattle. I wanted Denver to win, but Seattle just beat the hell out of Peyton Manning physically and mentally. Like, that safety kicked off a series of events. This is probably the first time that one team has scored in the first 12 seconds of each half. The first 12 seconds of the first half, Seattle scored a safety. First 12 seconds of the second half, the third quarter, Seattle scored a kickoff return. A lot of turnovers. Peyton threw a couple interceptions, a couple fumbles. Because I knew that Seattle had a great turnover ratio. I didn't know they were going to really destroy Bronco with that. And Seattle just destroyed. Richard Sherman was great. Cliff Averill, former Lion, make us kind of regret trading him now. He was the guy that kind of set up the first interception that went for an eventual touchdown. And of course the second interception that went to a touchdown. There's a lot of great plays. And Russell Wilson did well, but Russell Wilson didn't win the game for his team. The defense did. Legion of Boom and the 12th man. I don't think 12th man was as big of an influence because it was a neutral stadium. So there was a lot of Seattle fans cheering a lot, making noise, of course, being a 12th man and all, but the Legion of Boom, in my opinion, won the game. Well, Sean Lynch did well too, but I feel kind of bad for Peyton Manning. I had a Peyton freaking Manning shirt. I wore it today. I took it off because I felt ashamed of his performance tonight. His MVP season, he had a hell of a season with great playoff record. Most touchdown thrown, most touchdown yards. But this performance tonight just threw that fucking season down the drain. It was just a waste. It was all for nothing. It might be, unfortunately, kind of a weird story. Eli Manning, of course, Peyton's brother, he was on the other hand of giving a team a terrible whooping after such a great season. Because Eli Manning cost the Pats an undefeated season back at Super Bowl 42. Super Bowl 42, the Giants won and ended the Pats' dreams of an undefeated season. Seattle Seahawks ended Peyton Manning's perfect season tonight. Of having a great season, of great record-breaking season for Peyton, but that season, like I said, the season, especially winning the MVP last night, and offensive player of the year, all that went down the drain because of his performance tonight. Denver couldn't get anything going. They were stressed out. I think after that safety, the first after that safety in the first 12 seconds of the first quarter, Broncos couldn't get anything going. They finally scored in the fourth quarter. Their only points of the game, 8 points. Getting the 6 points in the TD, and of course getting a 2-point conversion instead of the extra point. But just the Broncos just played sloppy. They performed as bad as the Lions. Because I live in Detroit, and a lot of people said the Lions would have beat the Broncos tonight if the Lions were in the Super Bowl. That's how bad the Broncos played tonight. It was just sloppy play. And every time they had a good drive, an interception, or a fumble, a lot of turnovers tonight. More turnovers than there were in the AFC Championship game. Because Broncos against Pats, there was no interceptions, no turnovers. There was a lot of them tonight. And of course, Seattle defense caused all those turnovers tonight. I'll give Seattle credit. Great game in Seattle. Seattle came to play. Denver, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what. Because isn't it funny that Denver and Seattle are both cities of states that legalize pot? Maybe one got a little too high than being Denver. Well, they have a song called "One Mountain High." They got way too high. And I think they were stoned out of their minds. They probably smoked a lot of weed and played horrible. It doesn't matter what you blame. Smoking, or the biggest blame here is the defense that caused Denver to kind of play poorly tonight. And the game suffered because of it. It was a blowout. What was it? 42-8. Seattle was leading 29-0 in the halftime. The game was just unexciting. It was like a blowout. It was like watching a UFC fight and just watching one guy pummel the other guy. Like Frank Mir getting his ass beat by Alistair Overeem last night. It was just like that. Just Seattle just pummeled Denver, just annihilated them. It wasn't a total blowout because, like I said, Denver did score points, but it felt like a blowout because Seattle just outplayed Denver tonight. The number one defense outplayed one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of NFL. There's been a lot of moves about Peyton's future after this season. Is he going to retire or not? And if he does retire, second straight Super Bowl loss for Peyton Manning. He has a lot of critics. He was trying to silence the critics, and unfortunately those critics are still going to bash Peyton because he had a heck of a season, but he shakes like a leaf on a tree. He gets frozen up during the playoffs, during the postseason. The loss against the Ravens last season, that double overtime in the first round, and making it all the way to the Super Bowl. But it doesn't matter if you don't win, especially after such a great season. And he lost the last time against the Saints when he was a Colt back in 2010 at Super Bowl 44. And now he lost again, this time as a Bronco. And Seattle, mention this fact, the first team in NFL Super Bowl history to have a safety, a kickoff return, and interceptions. A lot of firsts for Seattle. Like I said, Seattle came to play. Congrats to Seattle on a great win. Dominating performance over the Denver Broncos, and well-deserved. And Malcolm Smith won the MVP honors. Just found that out right now. And I think, like I said, I think the Legion of Doom, the whole entire unit should win the MVP. But Malcolm Smith was the guy who caught the interception for the touchdown. So, he got to deserve it. Was he the one that got the kickoff return? I'm not sure. But congrats to Seattle once again. Denver, who knows where they go from here, especially where does Peyton go from here? Is he going to retire, or is he going to play a few more seasons? Even if he does play a few more seasons, he won't be totally remembered for this. This ain't going to define Peyton's legacy. He made a traumatic comeback. He had a great comeback after a rough couple years with his neck and all. The comeback and had a great season, but it's just sad that it had to end this way. In a dominating loss by the Seahawks, dominating over Broncos. So, no matter what Peyton does, he'll be remembered as a great quarterback, not remembered because of this poor performance tonight. Let's pray for an exciting Super Bowl 49. More exciting game, because it was just a blowout tonight. But congrats to Seattle nonetheless. Now, on with the other portions of the Super Bowl. It wasn't just the game. There was a halftime show and the commercials. Now, on to the halftime show. Bruno Mars. Now, I am a disc jockey. I DJ music events, and I like a lot of music, and I like Bruno Mars. But when I first heard that he was going to do the Super Bowl halftime show, I was like puzzled. Because like I said, I love Bruno, but he has not a lot of music to carry an entire 20-minute performance. You know, I thought it was too early in his career. He only has 2 albums in his solo career, and I thought that it was too early for him to play the Super Bowl because he doesn't have a lot of hits. And Red Hot Chili Peppers were added, and I thought the Chili Peppers were needed because I thought Chili Peppers were going to carry the show. What a night. We saw tonight that the Chili Peppers, I like the Chili Peppers, but in the end, the Chili Peppers didn't need to be there. Bruno did not need anybody to carry the show. Bruno Mars was just fantastic. I know Bruno's a great entertainer. I know that. But I just didn't think he was suitable for Super Bowl early in his career. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of good hits, but I thought it's too early in his career. He needs a lot more. I thought he needed more hits. But tonight, Bruno Mars kicked ass tonight. Better than Beyonce for sure, from last year. I don't think he'll be as good as Madonna or Prince, but top 5 Super Bowl halftime performances. Great performance tonight. And I like the simplicity of it, because Beyonce had all these props and all these technical things. Bruno, all he needed was a stage with some lighting effects, some cool little screen effects, and a terrific band. Bruno just performed. That's what he did. He performed well. He kicked off with Locked Out of Heaven, playing a little drum solo to kick it off after a choir sung one of his songs that he sang a hook for, one of his many collaborations, sang the first line, the chorus of Billionaire. Oh, every time I close my eyes, I see my name in shining lights. That was a cool little intro, and then of course he did the drum thing. He sung to a backing track, but you did hear his live mic. His band, I forgot, the Scallywags? I forgot his band name. But his band name, the Hooligans is it. The Hooligans is his band name. And they played well. I love the horns, the entire live band. And they played live. You know, the band, you heard the band live. Like I said, they had a backing track just because, hey, you know, in a stadium like that, you need backing tracks to kind of guide you. Guide tracks. But Bruno performed awesomely tonight. Kicking off with, like I said, Like I Have It. Then Treasure was the second song. And I love those. It's 2 bounciest songs. Because that was one thing I was puzzled about Bruno, because Bruno has more slow songs. You know, like It Will Rain, which ironically it did rain during Bruno's performance. And, you know, When I Was Your Man, a lot of slow songs. So I was like, he doesn't have a lot of slow songs. I mean, a lot of fast songs to carry a show. But like I said, he carried it well. After the Great Treasure, it sounded awesome on that. He did One Way Baby, an album cut, the only album cut he did, which was a great little rocky number. He did some James Brown type moves. I was like, wow. You know, he was like James Brown. I like the effects. Like I said, the lighting effects he did with the black and white silhouettes during that performance. And of course, the segue to Chili Peppers was Give It Away, Give It Away, Give It Away. The Chili Peppers came out. Like I said, I love the Chili Peppers. And Give It Away was a great performance. But in the end, I think Bruno did not need anybody to carry the show for him. I thought Bruno needed the Chili Peppers. Because I thought, like I said, Bruno, too soon for him in his career. But in the end, he didn't need the Chili Peppers. He had the show. He stole the show by himself. He didn't need the Chili Peppers. So it was a great performance to Give It Away nonetheless. Because like I said, I love the Chili Peppers. But like I said, in the end, they weren't needed. And Bruno ended with a great performance of Just the Way You Are, with a lot of soldiers on the screen who need to come home quick. I don't want to talk politics on here, but anyway. Bruno ended with Just the Way You Are. Great way to end the show. Very emotional ending. Very powerful. And the fireworks in the end was great. You know, great. But I didn't think Bruno was going to pull it off, but Bruno pulled it off. Man, like I said, I just thought it. Like I said, I knew it was entertaining, but I just did not think it was going to be this entertaining because, like I said, too early in his career. But he proved that you don't need a lot of hits to put on a great Super Bowl halftime show, which he did tonight. Great performance from Bruno Mars tonight. We'll see how the Super Bowl rolls, how the NFL rolls when it comes to choosing next year's performer. But great performance for Bruno Mars. Heck of a performance tonight. Didn't need the Chili Peppers in the end. Now, on with the commercials. Now, we had a lot of comments on Facebook tonight that the commercials were kind of mediocre tonight. I agreed. Like, the commercials were so-so. There was only a few good commercials tonight. A lot of commercials. Like, the commercials I didn't like was the first Skull Daddy commercial, because it didn't have Danny Kirkpatrick in it. The second one was better, with Danny Kirkpatrick and all the bodybuilders. I also didn't like the WeatherTech commercial. Like, it wasn't needed. I put The commercials I didn't like was all these commercials had great segues, and you find out what it's for. It's like, oh, here's a commercial. What's it for? It's for that? Yeah, you know, that's why I put a lot of yeah in the commercials. And the Sonos commercial was kind of like, you know, that wasn't necessary there. Giovanni Greek yogurt with the bear, kind of a not funny commercial. The Butterfinger peanut butter cup commercial was kind of awkward, but in the Jaguar commercial with the guy who played Gandhi, Ben Kingsley, it's kind of like not good as well. But a commercial that's kind of getting mixed reception is the Coca-Cola commercial, the first one with America the Beautiful being done in multiple languages. Now, to be honest, I kind of liked it because I liked it. I liked the like it was bringing America together, but it's like, you know, the languages kind of turned people off with the fact that it's such an American song and it's being done in different languages, especially in Islamic language or whatever you want to call it. You know, terrorist language, as people may call it. So, like I said, a lot of negative comments towards the Coca-Cola commercial, but I'm kind of on the fence. You know, I kind of like it, but it's like, you know, like you don't know what to think about it. The commercial I thought was okay. The Maserati commercial was kind of decent. The TurboTax commercial. The TurboTax commercial basically defined the Lions fans. Like, watching the game even though your team's not in it. Like, seeing another team take what your team... I'm trying to define it right. But TurboTax commercial with the guy watching the other guy dance with the girl and seeing someone else get all the glory. It's like the Lions fans right now seeing another team get all the glory. The Lions ain't going to get because Lions suck and they know it. The Hyundai commercials, I think the first one was good. The second one was decent. The Cheerios commercial, that got a lot of people ticked off too because of the biracial thing. But kind of a heartfelt commercial, I like that one. The Beats commercial with Helen DeGeneres in it, announcing the new Beats music service, kind of a parody of Gordon Locks and the Three Bears. That was kind of a funny commercial. The movie commercials were decent. Transformers was a decent one. You know, Transformers 4. God, when's it going to be Transformers 100? And also Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a decent trailer. The Convex commercial with the... That was kind of a fun little commercial there. The M&M commercial with Peanut. I saw a teaser for that trailer with the guy from Sopranos. It was a kind of an okay commercial, M&M's commercial. The Heinz commercial with the humming and be happy. You know, that was a little cleverly fun commercial. The Microsoft commercial with the soldiers and Honda with Kevin Costner was kind of interesting. SodaStream with Scarlett Johansson trying to be viral, but kind of epically fair on it. But some of my favorites. My favorite commercials, the Budweiser commercials. Both of them were great. The soldier coming home commercial was great. And the dog and the cow was pretty good. The U2 commercial promoting a new song was kind of a good commercial. The T-Mobile commercials were kind of funny too with Tebow. That was kind of a funny. The Tebow's like, Peyton, you lost and I won. I was a former Bronco. But anyway, I also like the Bud Light commercial. Some people may not like the Bud Light commercial with all the, you know, whatever's going to happen, this little hidden camera thing with multiple commercials. I kind of liked it. You know, it's kind of a cool little fun way, like 3 different commercials, kind of like segueing to each other. That was funny. The pistachio commercial with Stephen Colbert was kind of funny as well. I like that too. The Ford commercial with the double header with Rob Wiggle and who's that guy that flopped at the Oscar? Oh yeah, James Franco. Speaking of getting high. Anyway, I also like the Radio Shack commercial because I'm an old school guy. I love that old school 80s commercial with Hulk Hogan and Tristan's sister, Dee Snider, Alf, and Chucky. That was kind of a fun little commercial. The Toyota commercial with the Muppets and Terry Crews. That was kind of a funny, kind of a fun, heartfelt, like kind of a cheerful commercial there. The Audi commercial with the big dog. And kind of making fun of Sarah McLachlan's sad dog commercials. That was kind of a funny little ad there. The Chrysler commercial, especially us in Detroit. A couple years back, there was a great Chrysler commercial with Eminem. This time they had a Chrysler commercial with Bob Dylan. I'm not the biggest Bob Dylan fan in the world, but I liked that Bob Dylan Chrysler commercial. It was very, very inspirational commercial, especially for us in Detroit. You know, that was great. I don't think it was as good as the Eminem commercial, but I think the Bob Dylan Chrysler commercial was pretty good. Probably one of the best ones, besides the Budweiser commercials. And the Chrysler commercials, the Chevy commercials was just okay, just not eventful. That's what I thought. The Need for Speed movie commercial was also great as well. And like I said, a lot I didn't like. But like I didn't like the Maserati commercial. I didn't like that much. The first GoDaddy commercial was like, I like the pistachios though. And the Doritos commercials were kind of okay tonight as well. Like Doritos puts on great commercials every year. I don't think Doritos lived up to his usual expectations, but they were okay commercials nonetheless. The Doritos ones, both of them. The second one was I think better. The Axe Piece commercial was kind of like, too. I saw Axe Piece the other day, but I know they had a commercial. It's kind of an commercial as well. There's a lot more commercials this year than ever, but it was still decent night for the Super Bowl, nonetheless. You know, kind of like the commercial was okay. The halftime show was great. The game itself was kind of like a blowout by Seattle. So it was kind of a mixed Super Bowl, but still decent game nonetheless. Decent night for football and entertainment fans around the world. And we'll see what Super Bowl 49 delivers as we end another season of football. NASCAR's on the way. I don't watch NASCAR, so there you go. Okay, Super Bowl night tonight. So there you go. That is it for my Super Bowl review for tonight. See you all later with that in mind. You've all been attacked by the review of Zach. Thank you again for watching. Have a great night, everybody. See you later. And oh yeah, in honor of Marshawn Lynch in the YouTube video that made him a trending star that I knew him from. For Marshawn Lynch and Darren Sharper. Home again! Congrats again to the Seahawks. Great performance again, Denver. Better luck next year. Good night. Yeah.